Hello, my name is Cameron Box. I work at a high school training young athletes. That's what I specialize in. For the sake of our program today, we are going to work with a young basketball team. And I'm going to assume that we're working with a group of athletes that's been with me for a little while. And so they're not young athletes. I like working with even junior high athletes and young high school athletes and really developing those young muscles and getting them ready to train. But for today, the sake of the ease of the routine, we are going to work with a upper level high school basketball team, varsity basketball team in a preseason training. Specifically, the athletes that I'm going to work out and demonstrate with right now are our point guards and shooting guards, our quicker players, our speed players, and the ones we would expect to hold the ball more, move up and down the court more, and do a lot more side-to-side movement. So we're going to go through a few aspects of how we would get them ready in the 8 weeks before season starts. That's what we're going to stick with, is mostly that preseason time, 8 weeks. We are going to say that for the last 12 weeks, they went through a big off-season program, and where we focused a lot on strength gains, a little bit more volume, a little bit more iron in their routines. Now we're going to kind of take those routines and really speed them up and focus a lot on intensity, focus a lot on repetition, focus a lot on quality of the workout, not nearly as much on iron in these routines. And I'm not so much concerned with big strength gains right now. We're really going to work on speed, agility, and cross-body movements, explosiveness, even some flexibility. I'm big on flexibility. It's got to be big in an athlete. I'm real big on, during our training sessions, training hard, making the time short, especially with young athletes, because you will burn them out quickly. So we are going to work on shorter routines in the gym, and even shorter routines in our speed and our agility workouts that are maybe outside the gym, on a court, on a field, wherever we do those particular routines at. We are going to say that this is a 4-day-a-week routine, preseason training. It is going to go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to let them rest on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to encourage on those days some gym play, and ask if the gym is open, get in the gym, get some shooting around, get your muscles loosened up. If it is not, I do not mind some endurance running. For that will not be a big part of our program, is some endurance running for the sake of time with these athletes. So I will encourage on those days off, if you've got 20 minutes, 30 minutes, go get you a little 2 or 3 mile run in. Stretch it out, get a good little pre-stretch, post-stretch for your run, and just kind of take care of those muscles. Don't really kill them. I'm not worried about that. Just building the lungs up, and I like that. So athletes can do that on their own. But for the sake of ours workout, we're going to try to do this in 4 hour-and-a-half sessions, and that is a long session for me. I like to do it really closer to about an hour and 15-minute session, and but we'll give us that extra 15 minutes for warm-up and cool-down, really. And the way we would start it is we would do a warm-up. I would go through a series of about 5 static exercises and 5 ballistic exercises. We would mix them up among about 15 different, I call them or agility, different exercises, about 5 each day, just enough to kind of introduce something new each day to them. Maybe on that last day we'll do a combination of all of them. We would go real simple all the way from, we would start with our ballistic stretches. I like to do the method where we stretch it out for 10 yards and go another 10 on a jog. So you would do the agile for 10 yards and then another 10, or if we did it in a court or a gym, we would do probably a quarter of the court to the half court. Or if we really wanted to stretch it out and get a longer do, we would go all the way to half court to the other end and jog it out. On that jog it out, we would work on explosion and a really good form. On our agiles, we really want to make sure we're doing them right, doing them explosive, doing them good. We may go through a first set of the agiles where we do them at a slower pace, kind of letting the muscles get warmed up, and then the second set of agiles where we go through at a quicker pace, really working on technique. We would do things all the way from high knees, butt kicks. We would do some Russian walks, Frankensteins I call them, and kids like that. We would do different things like high knee kickouts, leg over, red rover, working on the hip, the groin, working those muscles, getting them in, really going through a good warm-up with these guys. And then we would break it up, loosen up, and do a good static session where we would do a good session of really getting the hammies warm, bending over, touching our toes, and working on keeping the back straight as we do those, spreading it out, isolating the right leg, isolating the left leg, coming down the middle, stretching it out, doing some static holds on that, doing some static holds with a right leg quad pull and a left leg quad pull, focusing on posture as we go through those different stretches. I like a good lunge stretch, and I even like it where we come on down, do the lunge stretch, grab with the left hand across the body, stretch back and engage the hip, doing the same thing to the other side, really focusing on twisting the core. I'm big on the core. We'll do a lot of core exercises within our ballistic and static set that'll really strengthen that core, get it working, get it loose, get it moving. And I like an athlete that's good on the swivel and on the move, and so we'll work hard on that. Same thing there. And I like side going squat. We'll do a lot of that right there, really getting down into it, working on that, chest up, eyes up. As we go through that, then we'll go through a little upper body series, about 2 or 3 a day, where we would do some arms, some triceps, some biceps, some arm over, something like that, some good shoulder circles back right here, and really getting the body loosened up good. I like to do about 10 minutes. I usually base my routines on a timer, and I would go about 10 to 15 minutes on the warm-up, about 5 minutes on the cool-down. The cool-down is real simple, just something moving, and to get the body cooled back down from what we just did. And something like maybe some jump ropes or high knees or running in place or something simple that kind of gets them moving. And some windmills even. I just like doing some simple toe touches, touching the sky, getting the body loose as we go through that. The way this series would look, again, like I said, 4 days a week. We would hit it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. On Monday and Thursday, these 2 days would be kind of some lower body days with upper body elements to it. I do almost a full body series each day, but I key a particular muscle. The way it would look is in the gym, that would be about a 40-minute session is what you would be looking at if you saw it on a piece of paper. The first 20 minutes would be focusing on 2 major muscle groups with 2 auxiliary lifts. So the way a Monday would look is real simple. We would focus on a squat, and we would come over to the gym. I come over to the squat rack as we're coaching them, tell them to get under the squat rack, get it back, get it nice and good and set, get it sitting on those big traps as we flex them. Feet right outside the shoulders, toes relatively straight. Good squat, good come up right there. And I would encourage spotters. We call it a shooter. Shooter's the guy doing the work with them. And a spotter. We would have 3-man groups. 3-man groups is the way that I would do this. And if I was working with a class, if I was working with an individual, we would just stay right there with him and be doing this. What they're going to do is they're going to do this exercise, and immediately follow it, they're going to do a different exercise, something a little bit less strenuous, but it's going to work the same deal. So they would come right out of that, a good 3 by 10 set right there. We're going to stay real basic with high school athletes. I don't mix it up a whole lot. I stay real in the good category of about 3 by 10, 3 by 7, or 3 by 4 is the way we would do that. We would break that up over 3 weeks. In an 8-week period, you might have that extra week where we would go 9 weeks instead of 8, so they could do 3-week periods as they go right there. And of course, each time we would go up in weight. So Monday would look like that. We'd start with a squat, and they would come right out of that, and they would grab about 10 pounds, and we call them a split arm, working on rolling those shoulders back, where they would grab their weights and split right out here just like this, and they would do 3 rounds of that back and forth by 10. And then they would come right out of that, and this is the first 20 minutes. We pick our pace up pretty good right here. They would come out of that into a real simple straight deadlift. I would encourage not a lot of weight right here. Like I said, I don't care about a lot of iron right now as we're doing this, especially in our 3 by 10 series. If we went off of maxes, it would maybe be about a 60% off of your max, 50 to 60% depending on how your technique falls. We would work on bottom down, front grip, chest up, eyes up. Good lift right there. Rolling the shoulders back. I'm big on that. If they keep slopey shoulders, I don't like that. Rolling them shoulders back. Kids are at desks all day, and they're writing all day. They need to roll the shoulders back and keep it going, just like that.